The last Royal Review took place exactly 80 years ago, when ships were drawn up for Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee celebrations.
Good morning everybody, and welcome to somewhere where the Beatles played. This will probably be the weirdest one of these that I'll ever do, because yes, the Beatles played on that boat. That boat was once the ferry across the Mersey, and it is now stranded here in a site we all know, the River Thames, would you believe? And I will tell you a little bit about the boat, why it's here, and why the Beatles played on this half-sunken boat. So hope you enjoy. So this boat is the Royal Irish boat, and it was launched in 1950, and it was brought into service in 1951 to be the ferry across the Mersey. It could hold over 2,000 passengers, and when you see pictures of this thing, it is a lot bigger than it looks. I've been doing research on it and I thought this looks tiny, but no. It could hold over 1,000 passengers when it was used as a ferry, but it became known in Liverpool. Lots of people in Liverpool have fond memories of this boat because it was the party boat. It had a nightclub in it, it had a smoking room in it, and it had a dance floor. And the dance floor in the 60s was used by bands such as the Beatles and Jerry and the Pacemakers as a bit of a party boat, the Love Boat, and more famously known as the Fish and Chip Boat, because I had a fish and chip stall on the boat. So I'll do a little bit of background on the boat before I get into the Beatles. People in Liverpool have such fond memories of this boat, because lots of people had their first kiss with the net, and so many memories of this boat for us. It was could hold over 2,000 people. I think I've already said over 1,000 for cruising. The first year of its service, it crashed into a famous wartime battleship, the Duchess of York, causing quite severe damage. Nobody was hurt, but the boat was out of action for some time. You can see the water in the bow. Sorry, gimbal's a bit blowy in the end. People of Liverpool call it the Fish and Chip Boat because of its fish and chip stall. The boat has also had, would you believe, the Queen on it. The Queen has been on this boat. Boat for her Diamond Jubilee of 1977, when she was touring the Northwest.
Later, after a short visit to Bootle, it was back to Liverpool aboard the former Mersey ferry Royal Irish to review the river shipping. The last Royal Review took place exactly 80 years ago, when ships were drawn up for Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee celebrations.
This boat makes some bloody weird noises. It's so weird to think in it, just this boat in the middle of the Thames. The Thames barrier is there. See that? Thames barrier. I think the Queen, and not Queen the band, the Queen, has been on this boat, along with John, Paul, George and Ringo. Quite bizarre. And here it is, just submerged on the Thames. You see the water in the boat. That's how bad the state it's in on it. There is no future for the boat. They've tried to bring it back to Liverpool quite a lot of times, but all attempts have failed. I can't stress how important this boat is to people in Liverpool. Certain people who spent a lot of their childhood on here. People would have had their first dance with their future partners, would have had their first kiss on this boat. So it's very iconic for people. Really random in here. In 1971 it became predominantly a cruise vessel instead of being the ferry across the Mersey, and it was retired in 1991, and then it was bought and sold a couple of times. It was made into a nightclub on the River Mersey at one point, and then it was basically just deemed impracticable and no use, and it was bought by a buyer in 2002 who took it here, and it's been here since 2002. It predominantly gets more and more damage as the years go by. I can't imagine it will be here too much longer, to be honest. I say that, but I think it's been in pretty bad state for over 10 years. The police were called to it once upon a time because there were squatters on it. And there was lots of drug activity on the boat. And if you do want to know more about the boat, I will, well, I won't, but you can search on YouTube. People go on the boat. I was terrified coming down that ladder to get here, so the chances of me going on the boat are literally none. But I'll talk more about the Beatles now. So if you were just here for looking at the boat and a bit of boat information, that's it for that. I'm talking about the Beatles now. This is a series I do called Somewhere Where the Beatles Played, because it takes you to some random places. So Ray McFall, who owned the cabin in the early 60s, ran events on at this club, and they were called the Riverboat Shuffles. And the Beatles actually played here 4 times on this boat. A few people on YouTube say, oh, the Beatles played here, but they played here without Ringo and stuff. They played here 3 times without Ringo, but they played here a week before Love Me Do was released, and they played here with Ringo. So the complete Beatles, when they were a massive draw in Liverpool, did play here. They played here on the 25th of August 1961. They played here on the 6th of July of 1962, where they were backing the band for Acker. Someone, I'll put it up. I've got a fan poster of the Riverboat Shuffle, so hopefully I put that on, which I'm sure I will. They played here on the 10th of August 1962. So 10th of August 1962, that's just a few days before John and Paul went to Skegness to get Ringo, which I did a video on. It was nearly exactly a year ago today. And again, they were back up to a band called Johnny Kidd and the Pirates. And like I said, they also played here on 28th of September 1962 with Ringo, part of the band, and a week before Love Me Do was released. I can't find too many set lists around this time for the Beatles, but in a few months' time they're basically doing the Please Please Me album. Well, a lot of the songs we know off that album. I think this is just before they write Please Please Me, so they probably didn't play that on here, but they would have played Love Me Do on here the week before it was released. And there's also a Paul McCartney song, That's Me, That Was Me or something, where he mentions playing on this boat. So Paul McCartney has good memories of this boat. But yeah, this is the most bizarre of somewhere where the Beatles played. Thank you so much for watching this random video of somewhere where the Beatles played. I'm doing a few more in this series. Just been to Liverpool, so there's a few there for you to watch, and I'll ideally, when I go to other cities in England, I'll show you where the Beatles played, because it's somewhere quite random. And if you want future updates on those, please like and subscribe. I will get to them. I'm not the quickest at doing YouTube videos, it's just a pastime. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, and it's New Year's Eve. This is what I do on New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year.